अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन, दिस इज आरजे फहीम अल इस्लाम और आप सब ने मिलकर ट्यून इन किया दोबारा से आप सबका बेहतरीन पॉडकास्ट आइए एक मुलाकात करते हैं आरजे फहीम। हम आप सब जानते हैं कि हम हर सैटरडे रात 9 से लेकर 10 बजे प्रोग्राम करते हैं, लेकिन आज कुछ बिजी शेड्यूल होने की वजह से प्रोग्राम थोड़ा सा पोस्टपोन होके मंडे रात 9 बजे से लेकर 10 बजे तक हुआ था। आप जानते हैं कि इस प्रोग्राम में हम डिफरेंट मायनाज मल्टी टैलेंटेड लोगों से बात करते हैं, उनको दावत देते हैं और खासकर उनकी जिंदगी के डिफरेंट डायमेंशंस को जानने की बहुत ज्यादा कोशिश करते हैं। And today, samely, we have the great guest, I can say, and क्योंकि उनके thoughts हमने पढ़े हैं, उनके different चीजों को हमने different dimensions और different prisms से देखा है. So it's quite good to just have some sort of a little bit interaction with her. And starting में हम उनसे पहले उनका तारुफ जानेंगे, later on we'll discuss different things, different zones and different dimensions. So firstly, अस्सलाम वालेकुम and welcome to today's show, because आप जानते हैं कि इस शो में हम उन लोगों को दावत देना चाहते हैं जिनके साथ हम बात करके बहुत अच्छा फील करें और जो अपनी बातों से समाज को गूंजे। So thank you so much for joining and अस्सलाम वालेकुम and welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I am immensely honored, and I really like your page because that's where my Urdu poetry also incidentally first came out through your page prompts. And I wasn't into poetry at all. It's very ironical. I would just write, and actually I started my writing career when I was in grade 11, and it was pure coincidence. I wrote for a grade 11 ICSE English essay topic, and my English teacher very kindly sent it to youth magazine in Kerala, and it was published. And then they sent me a couple of topics, and I wrote for almost 2 years for them. But unfortunately, I have no record. I didn't have my magazines kept properly by me. And I don't know where I lost it. And then there was a complete lull for almost 20 years. I didn't write at all. And then suddenly, one day I was just sitting out. It was 8-9 years ago. And I saw this bird beautifully moving, chirping. And I don't know what made me. I just wrote something about her, about nature. And then it was my coffee. And before I knew, I was just writing and writing and writing. And poetry only came to me during COVID. And incidentally, it was an Urdu one which started. And then before I knew, I was just writing and writing poems out. And I'm an on-spot writer. I don't plan and write.
Yeah, I got it completely. And obviously, the artists are those who just denote their times and just narrate the stories which definitely they got. अच्छा, if थोड़ा सा अगर हम बैक में जाएं, just from the historical perspectives, आप basically है कहाँ से? Because many of the people who are here, they might not be known to you in such a way, and they might not be known regarding your background, so it has been the background, but currently you're posting. मैं तो खुद बता दूंगा, but I just want to just listen from you, so that it will be quite holistic and pragmatic. So just introduce yourself in a very briefly way, I can say, and just introduce yourself in such a way so that we can get different dimensions of your life.
Yes, sure. My mother is a Hyderabadi, but her ancestors came down from different parts of Persia, Iran. And my dad was a UPite. We lost him when I was only 9. And I was born in Kuwait. My schooling and my brought up was in Kuwait. I came to India only at the age of 14. And since then, I'm based in Hyderabad now. My great-grandfather was a poet. His collection is still in the Delhi archives. AAYIE collections, it's known. And he was a historian, and he used to write in Persian and Urdu. He was fluent. So I don't know whether it's the genes or it's what, but I know that I am just writing. So I don't know where and from what I have acquired all this. But right
can
now
you see that there has been some sort of a genes from your ancestors which has been passed out, you have passed from those ancestors to you and you start writing, or it was something like accidental?
I'll say it's a mix of both. Maybe the genes played up a bit. And I'd want to give credit to my own being also for coming up with writing. But for me, I was always a person who was into raising their voice against injustice. You could say if there was anything wrong, I would always speak
Okay.
about it.
Yes.
And maybe that also led to my writing career. When I couldn't voice it, maybe I started writing it rather. And but all I know is I write. It could be I stop at a traffic light, I like something, I'm busy writing. I pass by
Okay.
nature, I see a cloud, I write. And of course my coffee, Lord, has been written. And I was stopped by my cousin saying, we are tired of reading about your love for coffee, can you switch to another topic? So I hold myself now, I don't write about my dear coffee so much. But
Okay.
even Urdu is, sometimes I've just written in 5 minutes for your page on any prompt or any line. And I fluent in Urdu. I can read and write in Urdu, Arabic also. But Urdu's love for poetry was inculcated by my maternal grandmother, my Nani.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
remember grade 8, I had to do a project on different poets, yesteryear poets. So my grandmother had sat and read. That's when I fell in love with Josh Malyabadi's
Okay.
Hali, Iqbal. I have written Shikwe, what Iqbal had written, Shikwa Nama. I had
Yeah.
tried doing something on those lines, but I don't know how successful I am in that. But of course, they are a legend. I can never be a
Yes.
match. But I want to
Mhm.
learn more Urdu for poetry. I know I can
Okay.
manage the basic Urdu, and Hyderabadi Urdu
Mhm.
is quite
Yes.
famous everywhere for not being the proper Urdu.
Yeah, I
But
know
for
this.
poetry, I for poetry, I really want to learn properly now
So
with a little.
from why you actually got the inspiration regarding the same? Like, I told you that obviously your ancestors has been in the same steps. They have been continuously doing the same things, and it might be like that played some sort of a bit role, I can say. But later on, what actually inspired you? I can see the mail and the basically what were the things that inspired you a lot, and what kind of themes and the genres you're trying to just play? Like, I can say one thing. Is it like the nature? Is it like the other things? Because the societal issues, some people just use to write regarding their own personal experiences, the life happenings, and all the things. And some you to just jot down the things which they see in the nature and all the things. So, what are the main things which inspired you, and how this journey basically starts? Like when you just start firstly writing, whether you told me earlier that you just start writing when you are in class, I think class 11 standard, no?
Yes, yes.
But later on, that might be at that time the ideas and thoughts might be raw, that might be quite immature. But later on, you just got developed in such a different zones. So when you just got in adolescent age, in the juvenile phase, what kind of things you just thought that I should just write down about those things. I should try to highlight such kind of things. And when you find the great things in you, what were the time and what kind of inspirations you got from the environment?
My first topic was a lonely, neglected Indian teenager. That was a topic I wrote and which got published in a youth magazine. It was run by two foreigners who were psychologists. So I don't know if
Okay.
I was writing about the trouble of teens and what was happening.
Mhm.
There was so much going on in those times.
Okay.
Uh, See, every time has its own set
Oh,
of torments, tribulations,
yes.
trials, but I still feel we lived in a better time. I know the present
Mhm.
generation won't agree with me. I still love the archaic system of sitting in the library, going through my notes, reading books. My love for
Yes.
reading was inculcated by my father.
Okay.
For my birthdays, I would always get these fat books, and which I loved.
Yeah.
I adored reading. I could be lost for hours in reading. And
Mhm.
he was very good at English himself. And
Okay.
my mother was very good with Urdu. She loved reading Urdu books. But
Mhm.
English, my love for English came more from my father, I would say. But I don't know how my, see, the thing with me is today I might be writing about a very happy thing. Tomorrow morning I
Okay.
might write about grief. By tomorrow evening I might write about some issue
Okay.
happening with women.
Yes.
Day
Mhm.
after, probably a teenager. Me being a special educator, that's my profession.
Yes.
I train grade 10th and 12th.
Mhm.
So I see a lot of torment and turmoil and, a lot of things happening out there, and the
Yes.
tags which these children get, unfortunately, that is what which is the most strong force in my writing, and that really makes me very upset when I see that we have been created that by one creator, and he has
Yeah.
chosen to create everyone differently. Then who are we
Yes.
to tag them just because they can't read
Obviously.
a couple of sentences, they can't spell out certain words? And who has brought about that language?
Yes.
That's a man-made language, right? It's not come from up.
Obviously.
And for certain things man-made, the way they are distinguished, the
Yes.
distinguished lot distinguishes and differentiates further. And unfortunately, that tag is there till the day. Today, Michelangelo, after 500 years, we speak about him. But the first thing we say is, oh, you know what? He was a school dropout. He was a dyslexic. Leonardo da Vinci, whose diagrams are
Yes.
being used by the modern generation science readers, so-called,
Yes.
still he is tagged like that. Beethoven,
Mm-hmm.
Mozart. There are
Yes.
countless legends like
Obviously.
that. But imagine these children today, they still have to fight for a place, sometimes in their family, sometimes in the society, sometimes
Yes.
even for a basic right to be educated. So,
Obviously. Yes.
there is a lot, I feel, every strata which is going through. There are women who are going through their own trials and tribulations. There are girls in many
Okay.
parts of India, I would like to point out, but still there is uh, patriarchy, and they still don't have a right to even education.
Yes.
Leave education, they even don't get proper food at times. I don't want to name
Mm-hmm.
the districts or communities, or anyway, it's happening in many places
Yeah.
where
Yes.
girls are still not being given the power of education, the power of being
Yes.
a woman, the power of being them, I would say, a woman, the right to just being even a human being. So yeah, there are a
Yes.
lot of issues, there are a lot of
I
things
know.
which upset me, and I end up writing. Like I said, it all
Obviously,
depends on my mood.
I do agree with you, and I completely understood the things which you have just gone through and which you experienced. Obviously, because when there is somebody who is consciously watching out the things which are going on in the surroundings and in the society, now definitely that pinches somehow. I can see whether it's the woman empowerment, whether it's the discrimination on the basis of different things which have been totally just made by the man's the society. Definitely that pinches somehow to the persons who are consciously watching out the things which are going on, But the things that there, when you just come out with some sort of a certain ideas which you have and which you possess actually, that creates a gap and that creates a barrier between those discriminations and happenings of the life. And with the writers, I can say I'm the proud writer in that area. So because I always try to highlight the issues which are going on in society, especially the problems which are facing the youngsters of the future generations, which are going to be the leaders of the tomorrow. It's our responsibility now to highlight some sort of things. So if I'll be just asking you, have you ever thought to just sum up all the things, sum up all the writings which you have just wrote down, I can see till now, in a book, or you have already written down, I can say that wrote down the books, or have this idea been in the back of the mind at some time will come, then I will just the compiling all the poetry and all the sections in a book, or you are just trying to do one thing that is just giving all these things in a different narrative that just go with the flow, and I can just watch it out until and unless the things will happen again and again.
See, I believe I can will, but Allah's
Mm.
will is the final. So I leave it on Allah. He has given me the gift of
Okay.
writing, and I write. So I'm waiting for the
Okay.
day when Allah will it for it to be published as a book.
Okay.
So
Yes.
now I just enjoy the gift I've been bestowed with, and I write.
Mm-hmm.
And someday, inshallah, maybe my books will come out and be published. But now I'm just
Okay.
enjoying my passion of writing. I enjoy meeting lovely poets in the community. I think Gauri was here, Sheikh Norozi was here. They're all my friends. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. And I'm very blessed to have made some genuine poetic friends in the community, poetic souls who have
Yes.
supported me, who have helped me in my journey. For now, I'm enjoying. I'm sure that day will also come when my books shall be published somewhere. But it's just my passion right now. And I would only like to say one thing to all the young budding poets, writers. Never look at the end result. Never go for that book to be published first. Never wait for that appreciation. Because when you let your creativity out, the appreciation will follow. I know we are humans, we want appreciation, but always be ready for healthy criticism. Always be ready to learn more by your flaws and mistakes, because no one is perfect. We have not been made perfect.
Yes.
And the beauty of the journey of a writer is to learn through their mistakes, to emerge strong. Because
Yes.
what I wrote 5 years ago and what I write now, sometimes I also go back and read and I'm like, did I write this actually?
Yeah, obviously that happens most times. You know, when we people just got it down, what I have wrote down a couple of years back is quite rubbish. I should have decided in such another way. These things come up, these things happen. But the majorly thing is that when you're just consciously very much, I can say, benevolent towards the society, now you definitely got out the ways that what should be done towards the society. You just highlighted the issue of the women empowerment. Have you ever thought at what kind of steps we people should took and we people should just take, like I can say, majorly, to just say such kind of a women empowerment? That do you think that the writings can just take up the way so that we can just promote the women empowerment in our societies? Do you think sometimes that writing can be a way?
Yes, writing up. See, writing can be there, and the biggest misinformation in society is that women should not be very educated. Some of them hold this, okay? And some of them do believe that, you know, I'm going to be very honest here. Some of them have this, you know, notion that Muslim women don't study much, and it's not there in our text. But let me tell you, education is something which has been highlighted every single place. Even in the Quran, the power of education. Even the Prophet had come with the power of education, because education is something which a woman needs. Woman needs even to run a household. Woman needs even to support her family, because she's the one who's the caregiver. She's the one who's a caretaker. Father plays a mere role of, say, 30% in a child's life, even if I'm giving a lot. But it's the woman. It's the woman who is building the family, the foundation for the next generation. So why would not any text empower women with that right? Why wouldn't they give women that right of education? It can be any community worldwide where women are still suppressed. In India, there are places where women of every strata is being suppressed. I don't want to say which class and which place and which because I feel suppression of women is happening. Whatever the name, whatever the, but every scripture is giving women the power of education. There is no scripture will say, let not women be educated.
Obviously.
So I feel women should be educated. Women should be self-sufficient, self-reliant, financially independent. Yes, even if the woman has to be married, she needs to have an identity of her own. She needs to be earning, because of course she can support the husband, but more than that, she needs to be a role model even for her children, because you don't know what the girl's fate is tomorrow. Why should a girl always be made dependent? First on the father, then the brothers, then her husband, then someone, on her sons. Why can't women be made strong just to be a woman, just to be a model, a role model for society? That same woman can be a role model even for her own family. Why not? Why not make her powerful?
There has been always, if we will just talk about the Islam, obviously you just took up this, the sentence and the quote. So obviously, if we will just talk about the religion Islam, obviously Islam always promotes, I can say, the woman empowerment that has never been in such civilizations. If you just talk about the Babylonian civilization, the Greek civilization, just women were just treated just nothing as a toy of the pleasure. If you just go in back in the history, come back after the advent of Islam, how these women just got up the rights, the basic fundamental rights. Even we just got it from 35 years back, and we just, in the recent times, we got it in 1949 after the UN Charter. So there, Islam has been always promoted of the women empowerment, if we will just talk about it. And this religion and the Islam, the basic fundamental pillar is that Ikra, just do read. And जिस उम्मत की बुनियाद ही इकरा से हुई हो. And if you will just look over the hadith, there is a hadith, I can just remember it like there is some कि talabul ilm फरीज़तुन अला कुल्li muslimin व muslimatin. That gaining the knowledge, that is mandatory for both males and the females. So Islam is never going to just suppress the woman just rights and education. It is some sort of stereotypes and strata in the society, which is creating and labeling these things towards the Islam. Muslim and Islam can never be identical.
See,
Islam is something that's quite different.
No, Prophet Muhammad had come at a time when the girls were being buried alive, right? In Middle East.
Obviously, yeah.
There was no education happening. He had come to make that change, right? His family, his granddaughter, his own daughter, Bibi Fatima al-Islam, everyone had been strong women in history in Islam. For that matter, if you pick up the other scriptures, even if you pick up the Bhagavad Gita, where you have the powerful force of Kali, they are showing you Durga. One side you show the power of women in different scriptures, okay? And then one side you show the suppression of women. Why should a woman only be suppressed? Why should a woman always be dominated in a patriarchal set? She has to do this. She has to. Why is always a conditioning set before she's born? There is a set pattern of conditioning. In everything is always given to the male members. Why is it happening still now? We are supposed to be in the very progressive century, progressive era, but I don't see much progress happening where women's conditioning is. I don't see any progress happening.
This topic has been always debatable, and I don't know, why the people are not just giving such kind of much more attention in a very basic structure towards this thing. So obviously this is quite debatable. Let's talk about it sometimes else. Let's come back to the session. Obviously we were just discussing the things, and definitely I just got definitely great vibes from you, because you have the great knowledge regarding the same thing, and I wish to that you can just be beneficial for the society regarding the same women empowerment and other things. Asha, at the final, obviously there has been a time, and obviously we have to just follow the time schedule as well. और मैं जानता हूँ obviously आज जब एक इंसान का दिन में एक busy schedule होता है, तो obviously at the night time they definitely want to have the rest and all these things. So I'll be just taking out those things in the very considerations. Asha, at the final moment, if I'll just ask you two things, and just after it we'll conclude the session. For you, what could be the great message towards the youngsters who are being there and who are just start writings, and they just want to be the great writers, to promote different ideas and just jot down the raw ideas and the thoughts, so that they can be the great writers of the tomorrow future generations, I can say. What could be your basic case, that what are the main obstacles and the hindrances which the writer can possess and which he or she can get in the very basic initial stage of the writings?
Firstly, I would say just follow what your heart wants you to write. That's how I do. And there are days when I don't write. Like for the last 4 days, I have not written much because I just can't write. There is a short story waiting on my blog, which I've written 3 parts, and I've still not gone back and completed. But one thing is, I would say, never force yourself to write. Never do it's like like a schedule. Okay, I have to get up in the morning, I have to have breakfast, and I need to write. No, writing doesn't happen like that. Sometimes for 4 days I don't write. Sometimes it's at 4 in the morning, suddenly this thought comes and I get up in my sleep, I write down, I sleep, wake up, and then I edit it and post it. Sometimes it's 2 in the morning. Sometimes I'm in the middle of a wedding and suddenly there is this poem idea and I leave my dinner and I'm writing. So what I'm trying to say is, you just have to follow your instinct. Some people need time to write. Some people are on-spot writers. And whatever comes, you just write it down. And then do your editing. Never do your editing while you are writing, as the
Yes,
thoughts are flowing, because that's where you are stopping your creativity. You stop
obviously.
the creative juices from flowing. And I would just say, follow your instinct. Today you'll write about a flood, tomorrow you'll write about poverty, day after you'll write about global warming. Whatever you feel like, just write, enjoy the journey. The
Yeah.
more natural, and there is no set rules or regulations, I feel, because poetry is something which needs us to be out and out. I don't write 4-line poems. I don't follow the technicalities. I write because I want to write.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
writing paragraphs and paragraphs. Sometimes I just write only 10 lines.
I
So
think
there is, you
sometimes
can
the
never.
standards just ruin your creativity. I just sometimes feel it. When you are just follow some certain patterns to just write down things, that definitely just stop your creativity. I got it many a times. When you want to just follow the similar pattern or something which has been prescribed here, your creativity just got stopped. Why should I just follow these things? Why should I? Obviously, you know. So sometimes I do just write in the free verses because I just found myself to just thoughts come out, just come out, and just come out and just write down in the free verse style.
Yes.
So that definitely that's a great that the authors and the writers who just want to just come up with such kind of new thoughts, new emerging ideas. Definitely, you should come and you should follow your passion. Sometimes you will just feel to write about these things and those things. Definitely, you can go out about all these things. And you know, I can just find out definitely बहुत से लोग आपके यहाँ पे चाहते हैं those who are sending the great love and support to you. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for supporting. I can say
Thank you
these
so much.
points, and I can say thank you so much for just network glitch. I can just say, yeah, finally.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining here. बहुत अच्छा लगा because I will just let you know one thing. This was just an introductory session, and maybe in the coming times, maybe the couple of weeks back, maybe we'll just have a great session on a particular topic. We'll be just having different sessions and different zones of level of zones on that. So उस दिन हम बहुत अच्छे से इन चीजों को तबसरा करेंगे. Today I can just find out different things from you that you have been quite tired of from the dates, busy schedule and all the things. So definitely हम उस दिन बहुत अच्छे से बात करेंगे on different schedules and different topics. I hope that you will definitely give us the time, precious time from your special ones. And उस दिन हम बहुत अच्छे से बात करेंगे. बाकी आपके साथ मुझे I particularly can just say that it was quite interesting conversation with you. I found it quite privileged to have a talk with you. And I hope that in
Thank
you will
you.
definitely give us the time so that we can just have a great session with you again and again.
Definitely. Thank you so much. It was lovely being here tonight, and I'm so glad you gave me a chance. And that's how I am. When I start speaking and the issues come up, that's this is
Definitely,
how
that's
my poetry is.
we should just
This is
we should
how my
just come up
poetry
with
is
such
as
such
well.
thing that we will just have a great session on a particular topic, and we'll just come up with a well researched way that whether it's women empowerment, whether it's the drug addiction, the psychological patterns, and all the things, we will definitely just try to highlight the sessions. Inshallah, next time we will just invite you again and again so that we can have a great session again with you, and you can just highlight the main social and different, I can say the different patterns and dimensions of the society which can be beneficial for all the youngsters as well as the future generations which are coming up as well. So thank you so much for joining us. It was quite nice to have a talk with you. Thank you so much. I will see you back in the next session. Till then, take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Walaikum salam.
Thank you. और आप सबका नाज़रीन, आप सबका भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे इस लाइव सेशन में जुड़ने के लिए. It was quite beautiful and it was quite nice to have a great and a session with Shireen Haider. She is a poetess, she is a blogger, she is an educator. And next time we'll definitely have a talk again with her on a different zones, on a different show. And different topics होंगे जिन पे हम बात करेंगे. कोशिश करेंगे और आप में से अगर आप में भी कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जो चाहते हैं हमारे लाइव सेशन में आने के लिए, you can just ping us. We will definitely have a great talk with you. Thank you so much for patiently being joined us. And thank you so much for showing such a love and such a care towards this page. Allah bless you all. I will see you next Saturday from 9 to 10 p.m. only with Ajay Fahim Sam with the show आइए एक मुलाकात करते हैं. तब तक अपना सब ख्याल रखिए. अल्लाह ताला हम सबको अपने हिफ्ज़-ओ-मान में रखे और हम सबको अपने साए तले रखे. तब तक